Hello fellow anime lovers, I'm Silencium, and today I want to guide you through the 1997 Berserk anime, a series that still casts a long shadow over dark fantasy. Based on Kentaro Miura's manga, the show was directed by Naohito Takahashi and produced by OLM, the studio then known as Oriental Light and Magic. It aired in Japan from October 1997 to March 1998 on late-night television, and reached American viewers in the early 2000s through licensed home video and late-night cable blocks. Most importantly, it focused on the Golden Age arc, the chapter of Berserk that transforms a wandering swordsman's tale into a tragedy of ambition, loyalty, and doom. What distinguishes the 1997 series is its mood. The world feels lived in, muddy, drafty, lit by torchlight and bad intentions. The palette is earthy rather than flashy, the camera work favors quiet push-ins and stark silhouettes, and the soundscape leans on sparse but unforgettable musical cues like Guts' plaintive motif and the war chant that punctuates the show's battles. You can sense the budget, yes, but you can also sense the intent. The direction constantly centers faces, hands, and eyes, letting tension accumulate in conversations before swords actually cross. As a result, character defines action. Guts is not merely strong, he is stubborn against the world. Griffith is not merely beautiful, he is terrifyingly purposeful. Casca is not merely the third point in a triangle, she is the conscience and cost of the dream. The adaptation covers Guts' recruitment by the Band of the Hawk, their rise through brutal campaigns, the fraying edge between Griffith's dream and everyone else's survival, and the series of personal fractures that follow. The show's pacing here is deliberate. It often chooses a campfire argument over a prolonged duel and lets a single glance say more than a monologue. This makes the political side of Berserk legible. You feel why the Hawks win, how a mercenary company seduces nobles, and why soldiers keep marching under banners they privately doubt. Fans love the 1997 anime for that atmosphere, for the hand-drawn grit, and for performances that let small moments breathe. The budget limits paradoxically force creative choices that suit Berserk's tone. When the supernatural bleeds in, it feels truly alien because the show has kept our feet planted in dirty earth. The production also feels cohesive. Designs are consistent, the editing is restrained, and the result is a slow burn that crescendos into devastation. The same elements draw criticism. Censorship on broadcast television means blood, nudity, and body horror are softened compared to the manga. Action animation is uneven, with reused cuts and off-model crowds. If you come for constant monster battles, you will spend a long time among humans being human. The cliff edge ending is the most divisive point. The series closes immediately after the Eclipse with no postscript and no catharsis. For some, that open wound is exactly the point. For others, it feels like being pushed out of a moving carriage. The truth is, both impressions can be valid. The show is complete in theme and incomplete in plot, and that tension is part of its legend. Because Berserk has multiple adaptations, a natural question follows. What changed in the later versions and how should you watch them? In 2012 and 2013, Studio 4 Degrees Celsius produced a movie trilogy that retells the Golden Age arc in condensed form. It has slicker cinematography and a hybrid of 2D and CG, remixes scenes and leans harder into spectacle. It removes some quiet character beats, but it also supplies connective tissue the TV series had to imply. In 2022, a memorial edition of that trilogy aired as a television recut, adding new scenes and a fresh ending sequence to soften transitions and restore mood. Then there is the 2016 and 2017 television continuation, animated primarily with 3D models. It pushes beyond the Golden Age into the Black Swordsman and Conviction material, introducing Farnese, Serpico, Isidro, and Shirka. It is often criticized for its choppy frame cadence and awkward rendering, but it remains valuable as the only animated bridge to later arcs. So the viewing order depends on what you want. If you care most about tone and character intimacy, begin with the 1997 series from start to finish. When you reach its final shot, jump to the 2016 and 2017 seasons to continue the story, keeping in mind the production style shift. Option 2. If you prefer a modern retelling with stronger audiovisual polish, watch the Golden Age Arc Memorial Edition, then move into 2016 and 2017. Option 3 is for completists. Watch the 1997 series for its atmosphere, sample the Memorial Edition as an alternate cut, and then proceed to 2016 and 2017 for continuation. In all cases, the manga remains the definitive text, but the 1997 anime is the best on-ramp for feeling why Berserk became a phenomenon. Returning to the strengths and weaknesses of the 1997 run, the performances of the core trio stand out. The brittle tenderness in Guts and Casca's relationship is allowed to unfold with pauses and second guesses. Griffith's charisma is compelling rather than merely asserted. Battles matter because of what they cost the characters after the dust settles. On the other hand, side villains can be thinly sketched, and some episodes juggle chivalric politics with a speed that assumes you are keeping notes. The production's age also shows in resolution and audio, which may surprise viewers raised on high-definition streams. And yet there is a reason people return. The show's final act earns its horror. It makes the Eclipse feel inevitable but not predictable. It lingers on loyalty and betrayal long enough that the supernatural feels like a judgment, not a twist. When the credits roll, you are left with questions that truly matter. What is the price of a dream? What happens to comrades when one person chooses a path lined with broken vows? Can strength protect anyone if it can never protect the self? If you are planning a watch, give the 1997 Berserk time to work on you. Accept the grain, the economy of motion, and the carefully rationed glimpses of monsters. In exchange, you will get a tragedy with bones and blood, a human story that makes the monstrous hit harder. That is the legacy of the 1997 series. It is not just a prologue to a famous eclipse, it is the reason the eclipse hurts. Thanks for watching. I'm Silencium. If this helped, like the video, drop a comment with your own Berserk watch order, and subscribe for more deep dives into classic anime.